I haven't yet watched Wolf's Rain. I love Wolf's Rain. Wolf's Rain is a concept, it's an idea, it's an experience. Having seen trailers and a bit about it generally, I know the basic aesthetic and themes, and Yoko Kanno's soundtrack here is so insanely, remarkably evocative that experience, Wolf's Rain, washes over me whenever I start one of the songs up. Lost, wandering, searching for paradise, universal human experiences with which to connect. Listen to the lushness of the composition, the emotive storytelling of this dense orchestration. A saxophone weaves its way through a flurry of piano notes. A call and refrain echoes. That lone voice still calls out into the void. Music is an artistic medium. Its objective is the same as a given anime's, to elicit an emotional response. Who's going to be better at achieving that effect? Kuzu P and whatever team he managed to scrape together, or one of the goddesses of soundtracking? Shinichiro Watanabe said it can be tough to work with Kanno because as a director you're forced to struggle to match the power of her music or risk simply being overpowered by it. But really, you can let it soar and simply tag along for the ride if you play your cards right. Compliment it and let her tell your story. I'm so tired of the bickering over what's more important, writing or visuals. But wait, clearly animation's the most important, since without that it'd just be a regular old movie or TV show. It's the experience. Stop trying to simplify things, boil them down to component parts. You'll have to get abstract, you'll have to get subjective, that's okay. An anime like Cashin Sin sits on an entirely different level from other series. Whereas much of the anime I watch all falls upon a spectrum from more to less enjoyable, it and anime that have a similar effect on me transcend that entirely, and can only be called transcendent. There isn't a science here, a formula, a rubric to be used to grade this series. This music and this art and this world simply come together to convey to me a rich, meaningful tapestry of emotions, woven with the thread of a powerful concept that every element works towards imbuing with meaning. A sleek, beautiful man with horns like a devil soars through the air, backlit by the moon. Slaughtering rusted-out ramshackle robots, crying for his blood and begging to be spared from death. That very blood being believed to be the elixir which will save them from such a fate. Foreboding strings building tension further and further, until a chorus of brass heralds the arrival of this demonic prince. Triumphant yet sober, victorious and tragic, terrible and magnificent. And in this imagery and music we experience the existential dread, the reverent awe, and the hopeless self-loathing that rack the characters of this world. That isn't the limit of this world's expressiveness, of course. There is joy to be found within it. Upon the introduction of one of the more content characters, one who has come to terms with the fate of themselves in this world, we are also greeted by this track. And yet for all its pep and upbeat instrumentation, it carries with it the weight of the musical leitmotif it represents. The heavy sadness that, while obscured by that energy, nonetheless exists beneath the surface, as it must of course exist within someone who recognizes their own fast approaching end. The story of this series is engrossing and its characters alluring, but it's this existentialism that permeates the entirety of the series that grants it the ethereal artistic power that it wields over me. And any stunning background or piece of music reflects that so well that I have that experience whenever I'm exposed to them. Watching the series is a sensory overload, not in the sense that it presents me with these at a high rate. In fact, the pacing is rather deliberate, but simply through the presentation of these to me in succession without pause, each one of them on its own holding the power to give me this experience because it communicates these feelings and ideas so poignantly. Sure, it's deeply couched in personal meaning and a resonance with me as an individual. But what isn't? Atmosphere, it's why I love anime. The ability to exert such control over every element present that you're sucked into a world and taken on an experiential journey. The bleak, tragic, desperate, sad, but still somehow breathtakingly beautiful apocalyptic wasteland of Casshern Sins. The detached, hollow, inhuman, modern cyberpunk suburban nightmare of Serial Experiments Lane. The mystifying, enchanting, foreboding, unsettlingly comforting walled city of Hibane Renmei. Yes, I do have a fondness of a level of moodiness to my settings, thanks for noticing. Love. It's the most effective way I can describe it. If I ever hear any of these songs, or see any of these characters, or start pondering any of these ideas, I feel a warm weight settling itself in the pit of my stomach. Like my soul has been grounded, if only for this moment, as I revel in this anime, free from the normally ever-present risk of it flying off into the void and leaving me behind. I am content, I am happy, my thoughts slow down, my mind is at ease. These are incredible works of art. Of course, which series achieve these effects will vary from person to person, aesthetic sensibilities, what concepts are evocative, musical taste. With this special type of love, all of these elements must come together in a perfect manner for the individual. Hell, the emotional weight of this video is heavily dependent upon these musical selections. I have no idea how effective it will be to someone who isn't made to feel the things I do in response to them. For those series that each person really cares deeply about, has those special connections to, the ideas behind it, the idea of it, holds a powerful core appeal, and all of your anger at someone's love of something supposedly shallow, based upon abstractions or overthinking, misses the point. Sure, maybe they love it as a piece of entertainment, but if they love it on the level of art, then there's something there drawing them to it, clearly, and any notion that such feelings somehow shouldn't have been elicited is simply absurd. If it's truly some immature, youthful appeal, then allow them to grow out of it upon revisiting those songs, those scenes, those series. If the love remains, then there's something deeper there, something that should be cherished. Love. An artist, a team of artists, set out to convey their thoughts and feelings to those who experienced the fruit of their labor. And for this person, it worked. Am I being too sappy here? Blame it on the fact I'm listening to each of these tracks as I write this, and am experiencing this all for myself right now. I'll hear no complaints, I warned you with the channel name. Anime holds a broad appeal for me. I find much of it to be rather interesting and entertaining. But what really drew me in and keeps me coming back, always hoping for that next transcendent experience, are those moments of love. These pieces of art that resonate with me perfectly. The secret to incredible anime is you. The secret to videos like these is those of you supporting my work on Patreon. The editing here was courtesy of Mike once again, and with your help we can eventually reach a point where he's on my payroll and editing a lot more of them. And also get some sound panels or something, because man, my audio at the start there sucked. As always, a big thank you to Sam, Izumi69, Remy Goldschmidt, Joji Matthews, Culver James Kamai, Chris Wagner, Tincho37, MathWiz97, Zach Penrith, Greg Greenwell, Cherry Boy Writer, Car Keys, Valkion, Mickey Stopwatch, Akai Kuroba, Kieran Rice, Raymond Tifi, Indigo, Lord Liquid Bacon II, Otaku Manboy, Shoko Asahara, Trey Allen, and all of my other patrons in helping to enable and improve this content.